Morning, girls. We discussed in previous session we discussed about hormonal contraceptives, right? So this is a continuation part we are going to discuss. So these hormonal among these hormonal contraceptives, here is another in continuation we are going to discuss ovulation inducers. So what are these ovulation inducers? So ovulation is induced using one of the two main drug regimes. Uh, they are clomiphene or clomide tablets. Ovulation is induced using one of two main drug regimes, that is clomiphene or clomide tablets. They are nothing but alternatives of tamoxifen and letrozole tablets. They increase the production of follicle stimulating hormone, that is FSH, by the pituitary gland and thereby stimulating follicles and hence egg growth, inducing inducing the ovulation using medications, that is ovulation induction, allows an egg to mature and be released by the ovary. This cycle is tracked with blood tests and ultrasounds, and also this is one nothing but to confirm the best time to conceive. Okay. So this is the routine procedure that we follow, because if the mother is not satisfied with her with her with her process of conception, or if at all she is having any sterility problems, that this has to be scanned, right? So from the period of the first day of menstruation onwards, this process has to be monitored. So in that process, usually the ovulation, the thickness of the endometrium, and the ovulation process, and then release of ovum, then sperm motility, and uh, then fertilization, all these process will be just monitored. So this cycle is tracked. How it is monitored means by blood tests, ultrasounds, and ultrasounds or scanning to confirm the best time to conceive. So this is very important aspect for the mothers to undergo, uh, who is going to undergo this treatment. Okay. Then coming to the oral medications, the most common oral medication is clomiphene citrate, that is known as clomid or serophene. This clomiphene blocks the estrogen receptors in the body. Okay. So estrogen receptors, what is the action of estrogen receptors? They will stimulate, and they will help to produce estrogen in the body. So this blocks the receptors, so that this estrogen will not be secreted in excess, that required amounts. This tricks the brain into increasing hormone production to stimulate development of one or more follicles on the ovary. So these follicles are the small fluid filled sacs on the ovary which contains an egg. So you know the structure of follicles in first year, you could have read about the structure, so we cannot explain right now. Again, it takes another one big class, 2 hours class session. So if you are not getting review of this ovary in your mind, just have a look into your first year anatomy and physiology as well. Okay. So follicles are small fluid filled sacs on the ovary which contains an egg in the ovary mother. If they develop and mature and they release the egg, that is called ovulation. Clomiphene is usually taken for 5 days in the first half of your menstrual cycle. Okay. So there is the trade name of this drug is letrozole. So non-steroidal selective estrogen enzyme modulator. Okay. In the last few years, it has added another option for the ovulation or ovarian stimulation. Then aromatase inhibitors treatment, how they are used is usually 5 days or 10 days. This is follicular stimulating hormone will be released, and that will regulate the stimulation of stimulation and release of ovum. Okay. So improvement is seen in ovarian response to follicular stimulating hormone in poor responders. That is naturally by natural methods, or if there is a defect in this follicular FSH production, then if by using these tablets, naturally the ovarian response will be improved. So, what are the other trade names or combinations? Tamoxifen, dexamethasone, bromocriptine, aromatase inhibitors, gonadotropins, insulin sensitizers, oral contraceptive, pre-treatment. So we just said about this Clomid tablet, that is 50 mg. This is the sachet. Okay. So the clinical name is, pharmacological name is clomiphene citrate. Most of the time it is mentioned as CC. CC is nothing but clomiphene citrate. It exhibits both estrogen agonist and antagonist properties, that is selective estrogen receptor modulating activity. These estrogenic agonist properties are manifested only when endogenous estrogen levels are extremely low. What is the pharmacological action? The CC pharmacological combination. CC is a clomiphene citrate. Okay. So this clomiphene citrate is it's a mixture, and in approximately 3:2 ratio of geometric isomers in enclomiphene and zuclomiphene. This is the combination. Okay. What these enclomiphene and zuclomiphene are nothing but geometric isomers. So 3 is enclophenes, and 2%, that is 2 ratio, is zuclomiphene. Then this enclomiphene is the more potent isomers, and they rises rapidly after administration and fall to the undetectable concentrations soon thereafter. Half life is, that is 5 days. 5 days for some patients 5 days may be enough. That is half life treatment will be given. The inactive isomer present in blood for 6 to 8 weeks. During this CC treatment, level of both luteinizing hormone and follicular stimulating hormone undergo a prolonged rise and compared with a natural cycle because of the prolonged ER depletion in the brain. Estrogen receptor depletion in the brain. Then this FSH window is extended and leading to multiple follicle growths and a higher multiple pregnancy rate with the CC, that is clomiphene citrate, then occurs in natural cycles. What is the mechanism of action of clomiphene citrate? This clomiphene citrate binds to estrogen receptors throughout for an extended period of the time, that is weeks rather than hours, as with natural estrogen. This depletion of estrogen receptors concentrations by interfering with the normal process of ER replenishment. This anti-estrogenic effect on the hypothalamus induces the estrogen concentrations are falsely perceived as low, leading to increased gonadotropin stimulating hormone production. Gonadotropin hormone. So what happens? This will act on the hypothalamus, and low levels of estrogen will be secreted, and there will be increased gonadotropin hormone. The actions at the pituitary level may also be involved. Okay, this is about ovulation stimulating hormones. Then coming to the oxytocics. So what are the oxytocics? Oxytocin is nothing but the brand name of alpha hypofamine or vasopressin, the brand name for beta hypofamine. Oxytocin receptors were largely expressed in the uterus and severely and several brain regions including hypothalamus, lateral septum, nucleus accumbens, and amygdala. Then synthetic form of oxytocin, example pitocins, these are now in wide use clinically for labor induction and management. Oxytocin replaced ergometrin, an oxytocic derived form of ergot in clinical use, as it provide easier to titrate with fewer side effects. What is oxytocic? Oxytocics, the, this will hasten the childbirth and also induce the concentration of uterine smooth muscle, and this is also called as uterotonics. These oxytocin, otherwise known as the love hormone, and it is released by the pituitary gland and is responsible for human behaviors associated with relationships and bonding. It is mostly common. It is most commonly used to help mothers to produce contractions in labor and control bleeding. So what happens when the blood vessels are open? These oxytocins will be given to the mother. These opened blood muscles will be narrowed because of the uterine muscular contractions. So postpartum hemorrhage అన్నది వినింటారు మీరు. డెలివరీ అయిన తర్వాత కొద్దిసేపటికి హెవీ బ్లీడింగ్ వస్తుంటుంది. దాన్ని కంట్రోల్ చేయడం కోసం అనేసి మదర్స్కి ఏమవుతుంది, పోస్ట్ మార్టం బ్లీడింగ్లో హెమరేజ్లో ఏమవుతుంది, బ్లడ్ వాల్యూమ్ తగ్గిపోతుంది, కార్డియాక్ ఫంక్షన్ తగ్గిపోతుంది, షాక్లోకి వెళ్తారు కదా. సో టు ప్రివెంట్ దట్ దే విల్ గివ్ ఆక్సిటోసిన్. కొన్నిసార్లు డైరెక్ట్గా ఇస్తారు, కొన్నిసార్లు ఐవి ఫ్లూయిడ్స్లో మిక్స్ చేసి కూడా ఇవ్వచ్చు. కొన్నిసార్లు ఇంకా హెవీగా ఉందనుకోండి, డైరెక్ట్గా అంబ్లికల్ కార్డ్ ఇచ్చేస్తే డైరెక్ట్గా యూట్రస్ మీద డైరెక్ట్ యాక్షన్ వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. హౌ డస్ దిస్ ఆక్సిటోసిన్ వర్క్స్? Oxytocin is secreted into the bloodstream due to electrical activity of nerve cells when they are exit. The release cause of these uterus to contract, and which causes the labor contractions and tightens the uterus after a baby is born to deliver the placenta. So baby first to delivery అయిపోయిన తర్వాత the placenta has to be delivered, right? So during this placental delivery, that is the placenta has to be separated from the uterus. During this process, the mother will have postpartum hemorrhage, severe postpartum hemorrhage. So because to prevent that, the oxytocin will be given. That may be directly IV or through IV fluids or through umbilical cord. Okay. సో ఇది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ అమ్మా. మీరు యూ హ్యావ్ టు రిమెంబర్ దిస్ బికాస్ థర్డ్ ఇయర్ ఫోర్త్ ఇయర్లో యూ ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు యూస్ ఆక్సిటోసిన్. సో ట్రై టు రిమెంబర్ దిస్ drug. So drugs producing uterine contractions, that is oxytocic drugs are oxytocin, ergot alkaloids, that is nothing but ergometrin or ergovin. Then prostaglandins, prostaglandin 2 and PGF2A, that is alpha. Then miscellaneous are quinine, emitin, alcohol, ethacridine. So first we will say that this oxytocin. So already brief introduction about oxytocin has completed, right? Now synthesis of oxytocin. This is it's a posterior pituitary hormone secreted by the posterior pituitary gland. This oxytocin secretion occurs by sensory stimulation from cervix, vagina, and from suckling the breast. This oxytocin from hypothalamus, when the hypothalamus is stimulated, the oxytocin will be released, and this oxytocin release will be from posterior pituitary, uterus, and myoepithelial cells, then uterine contractions and milk ejections. Then mechanism of action. The interaction of endogenous or administered oxytocin with myometrial cell membrane receptors promotes the influx of calcium plus ions, that is from extracellular fluid, and also from into the release of release into the cells, and increases the cytoplasmic calcium and stimulates uterine contractions. Then breast, coming to the breast, oxytocin also causes contractions of myoepithelial cells surrounding the the mammalian alveoli, which leads to milk ejections. Used and This is used in for breast engorgement also, and on kidneys. At high concentrations, oxytocin has weak antidiuretic and pressor activity due to activation of vasopressin receptors. Then therapeutic uses are induction and augmentation of labor, then uterine inertia, incomplete abortion, then post-maturity, postpartum uterine hemorrhage, and impaired milk ejections. One puff in each nostril 2 to 3 minutes before nursing. Then what are the side effects? The side effects are hypotension, uterine rupture, fetal death, water intoxication, then neonatal jaundice. Coming to the pitocin. This is also, this is nothing but oxytocin, another form of oxytocin in the form of injection. It is a sterile, clear, colorless, aqueous solution of synthetic oxytocin. For intravenous infusions, intramuscular injections may be given. Pitocin is non-peptide found in pituitary extracts from mammals. It is standardized to contain 10 units of oxytocin hormone per ml and contains 0.5 chlorobutanol, a chloroform derivative for a preservation, with the pH adjusted with acetic acid. So how they are preserving this preparation of pitocin means 10 units of oxytocin తో chlorobutanol కలుపుతారు plus chloroform for preservation. Then pitocin may contain up to 16% of total impurities. The hormone is prepared synthetically to avoid possible contaminations with vasopressin, that is ADH, and other small polypeptides with the biological activity. Pitocin has empirical formula of C4H66, N12, O12, and S2. That is, and the molecular weight is 1007.19. దెన్ కమింగ్ టు ద టోకలైటిస్. సో మీకు అది ఇంపార్టెంట్ రెండే చెప్పినానమ్మా, పిటోసిన్ అండ్ ఆక్సిటోసిన్. అదర్వి పెద్దగా యూస్ చేయట్లేదు. ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ యూ కెన్ రీడ్ ద మోడ్ ఆఫ్ యాక్షన్ అండ్ ప్రిపరేషన్స్. దెన్ కమింగ్ టు ద uterine relaxants, that is tocolytics. So they are the drugs which decreases the uterine motility. Uses are delay or postponement of labor, and it will arrest the abortions, and for dysmenorrhea, to control the dysmenorrhea, and suppression of labor allowed fetus to mature. అంటే ఒక్కోసారి అర్లీ లేబర్లోకి వెళ్ళకుండా మదర్ని ఇది ప్రివెంట్ చేస్తుంది. ఫీటస్ మెచ్యూర్ అవ్వాలి, సర్వైవ్ అవ్వాలి కాబట్టి సో లేబర్ని కూడా కొంచెము పోస్ట్పోన్ చేస్తుంది, అంటే ప్రీ టర్మ్ లేబర్స్ కాకుండా చూస్తుంది. దెన్ ప్రీమెచ్యూర్ లేబర్ ఈజ్ డన్ ఓన్లీ ఇఫ్ సర్వైకల్ డైలటేషన్ ఈజ్ అరౌండ్ 4 centimeters. Then contraindications. These contraindications include the contraindications are rupturing of membranes, antepartum hemorrhage. During antepartum hemorrhage, this should not be given. In severe toxemia of pregnancy, again this is not to be given, and intrauterine infections also, this has to be prevented. Coming to the classification, adrenergic agonist, they are rytodrins. Then calcium channel blockers, example nifedipines, and magnesium sulfate. Then oxytocin antagonist is atosiban. Then miscellaneous are ethyl alcohol nitrates and halogens. We will see about adrenergic agonists. They are nothing but beta 2 selective agonists. They suppress the premature labor and delay the delivery in exigency. The dosage will be given about 50 micrograms per minute IV infusions, and increased with the every 10 minutes. This ceases the uterine contractions or maternal heart rate raises to 120 per minute. So we have to monitor the uterine contractions as well as maternal heart rate. Then 10 mg IM for 4 to 6 hours 6 hourly, followed by 10 milligrams oral. So oral will be given and also IM will be given, and IV also given. So in 3 forms it can be used, and for the postponement of delivery this has to be given. Side effects: cardiovascular, metabolic complications, anxiety, restlessness, headache. Cardiovascular kada, so because it increases the cardiac, that is heart rate. Then when it should not be used, that is in diabetic cases, heart diseases, and when the mother is on steroids or beta blockers, that should not be used. Then calcium channel blockers also, the mother should not be. It reduces the tone of myometrium and opposes the contractions, having smooth muscle relaxant action and postponement of labor. So calcium channel blockers will be given about 10 milligrams oral for every 20 to 30 minutes till the contraction ceases, and followed by 10 milligrams 6 hourly. What are the side effects of this calcium channel blockers? Tachycardia and hypotension. Then magnesium sulfate control convulsions and reduces the BP in toxemia of pregnancy. Then drug of choice is prevention of seizures, prevention and to treat the seizures in pre-eclampsia and eclampsia. For treatment of pre-eclampsia, eclampsia అంటే pre-eclampsia అంటే మదర్కి ఎడిమాటస్గా ఉంటుంది, బీపీ ఎలివేట్ అవుతుంది, ఆల్మిన్ ఉండొచ్చు యూరిన్లో, ప్రీ ఎక్లాంప్టిక్ స్టేజ్ అంటారు దాన్ని. ఎక్లాంప్షియా అంటే ఫిట్ త్రో ఉంటుంది, మదర్ విల్ బి in threat and fetus may not have the chances of survival. Then oxytocin antagonist. Peptide analog of oxytocin act as antagonist at receptors, then suppress the premature uterine contractions and postponement of preterm delivery. Then what are the miscellaneous drugs used? Ethyl alcohol, nitrates, progesterones, then PC synthesis inhibitors, prostaglandin synthesis inhibitors can depress the uterine contractions, not dependable. And progesterone has been found to prevent miscarriages in some high risk cases. Coming to the androgens. These are androgens are nothing but male sex hormones. So till now we read about female. So now male sex hormones we are going to discuss. These androgens are androgenic hormones. They are nothing but androgens are androgenic hormones. Testosterone, androsterone, and dihydroepidural. ఇది dihydroepiandrosterones. ఓ అన్నది డిఆర్ఓ దగ్గర రావాలి. ఇది డిఆర్ఓ, DEHYDRO, dihydro epiandrosterones. Androsterones is the first to be isolated, and the main commercial source of androgens are urines of males, females, and testicular extracts. Androgens also produces in adenoid cortex. Then testosterone is the most potent one. Potent one means it is most useful for the male reproductive system. Then coming to the functions, testosterone is the most active hormone. This is testosterone will stimulate androsterones, and that is going to re-stimulate epiandrosterones, and that is again producing epiandrosterones. It promotes the growth and function of male accessory sex organs via that example prostate glands, seminal vesicles, corpus glands, and penis. Development of secondary sex characteristics like texture of skin, distribution of hair, voice, etc. So first primary sex characters and secondary sex characteristics are to be developed only because of testosterone. It promotes protein synthesis in accessory organs, increases the activity of glycolytic enzymes. It decreases the activity of alkaline phosphatase, glutamic dehydrogenase, then hepatic arginine synthesis. Then coming to the functions, increase the rate of synthesis of hormones, then increase the rate of production of fructose and by the seminal vesicles, and increase the rate of synthesis of citrate, and it increases the respiratory rate, that is oxygen consumption and carbon dioxide production both of the seminal vesicles and of the prostate. Increase the and the prostate increase the tubular reabsorption of citrate, sodium, potassium, chlorides, sulfurs and others. Then anabolic steroids are mechanism of action. What is the mechanism of action of these anabolic steroids? Mechanism of action is binds to androgen receptors, that is ARs, then interacts with the androgen response elements and modifies the gene transcription in presence of co-activators and co-repressors. Anabolic steroids, the different preparations are available. One of the preparation is methadone. Oral tablets are available, oral drops are available, and intramuscular injections also available. Then nandrolone are intramuscular injections, 10 mg per ml milliliters, and 25 mg per ml and 100 mg per ml also available. Anabolic steroids preparations, other preparations are oxymethanol and stanozolol. Oral tablets and intramuscular injection both are available. Then anabolic steroids uses are catabolic status like acute illness, cancer, cachexia, major surgeries, and it can be used when it acts by reducing N2 loss, nitrogen loss. Then transient responses only seen and indicated for short-term therapy. So coming to the male contraceptions, the drugs that inhibit the spermatogenesis and it draws back the hormones, and then complete suppression is not possible without affecting other tissues. Then long latent period about 60 to 70 days to produce infertility. Then gonadotropin suppressions, because there is inhibition also, inhibition will be there, and it inhibits the testosterone secretions, and it results in loss of libido and impotency. Anti-androgens are it acts directly on testes, causes unacceptable loss of libido. Then estrogens and progesterones, it will suppress the gonadotropin hormones and feminizations, and androgens, it will suppress the gonadotropin hormones and preserves libido, and poor efficacy will be there. Gonadotropin hormones analogs, it suppress the both gonadotropins and testosterones, and there will be loss of libido and impotency. Then cytotoxic drugs, they act as toxics and produce irreversible action. Okay ma, this is about male hormonal drugs. Thank you ma. So hope you understand well. If any doubts are there, you can refer to the textbooks ma. You have to refer.